Greetings, and welcome to When the Moment Chooses You. I am your host, Coach Charlene, and I have compassionate, courageous conversations, and I get the privilege and the opportunity to have on the show trailblazers and change agents and those who dare to dream, who dare to disrupt the status quo and to transform themselves and the systems and the other people that they impact. So we have had a phenomenal year. I mean, 2023 is getting ready to say goodbye, and we are getting ready to launch into 2024. And so I thought I would just first express deep gratitude to every beautiful guest that I interviewed on this podcast. I mean, they were phenomenal, inspirational. I had over 34 guests on the show throughout the year. And I'm so excited that when you have a dream in your heart, I believe that God always, if you have a dream, He has those people that are attached to it. So I kind of wanted to inspire you a little bit. But first, deep gratitude to every guest that I interviewed. I tell you what, it was so inspirational, transformative. So if you have not listened to any of the episodes, I really encourage you to go back and take the time to do something for you and to feed your soul. You see, many of us have a sick soul because we're not feeding it the right nutrients. If you're feeling stuck or you're stagnant or you're feeling a little bit of unrest, I encourage you to take some time to make sure that you follow, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm telling you, this content is so inspirational. And I'm not just saying that because it's my podcast. I believe that this was a divine assignment to inspire those that need to be inspired, to help push people to be more transformed and to follow after your heart and pursue those dreams that you have in your heart. So I thought at the end, the very last podcast, I would like to just do a solo episode. And I saw a quote, and I want to read this quote. And many of you know this quote already. And it's the one by Steve Jobs. And he said, "Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition because they somehow know what you truly want to become." I saw that quote a while back, several years ago, but it really resonated because our heart truly knows what we need and where we are headed. The problem is that we don't listen to our heart necessarily. And so, this particular message, I'm going to title it When Your Heart Speaks. When your heart speaks, do you listen? And so, I want to just inspire you with this message just as you get ready to enter into 2024. Because if your heart is not aligned with what you actually are doing now, you probably are feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm feeling a little like restless. I don't know what's wrong, but I just can't find that joy. I can't find that meaning. Remember, I mentioned to you guys some time before that I hit that spot in 2021. And I found that wonderful quote of you don't die when your heart stops beating, you die when your heartbeats have no meaning. And so I have been on a quest since 2021, especially post the triple pandemic, for the in search of to find meaning and joy in everything that I do. And so it has been a beautiful journey. And so this was one of the things that I decided to birth, which was a podcast. So you have been a part of my dream, and I'm so thankful for you listening. And I hope that you would share and subscribe in the future episodes coming up. And so, listen to this particular quote. Now, this was extremely powerful. It said, "Following your heart isn't always the easiest path, but it is the only path that leads straight to your soul." Here we go with that soul. See, there's something about us. See, we're not just a physical being having just a human experience. We are a physical being with the soul and with the spirit that actually is experiencing life together. So The part of your soul that's sick is the one where we make decisions. And I'm talking about that because I know a lot of people that are still sick in their soul because they are not really aligned with where they need to be, aligned with where their heart is speaking to them. So, thus, my topic today was when your heart speaks. When your heart speaks, will you listen? Do you listen? Have you listened? See, I had to begin to start listening to my heart so that I can make sure that those heartbeats that are intentional, they're purposeful, they're filled with joy, they're filled with meaning. Now, that doesn't mean that every single thing is going to be skipping through the tulips. No, that's not what it means. It means that challenges are going to come. It means that we're going to have to face uncertainty and all types of things, especially in the times that we're living in now. But there is a place where you can get to where your heart will begin to guide you and to protect you, even in the midst of all of the chaos and all of the stuff that's going on all around us. And so, one of my favorite scriptures is to, above all else, guard your heart because everything flows from it. Everything flows from your heart. And I absolutely live by that because my heart has the ability to love the unlovable. I know that's a really tough thing. I've shared many stories with you guys that I've had to actually love the unlovable. But why was I able to do that? It's because I am constantly working on that alignment of my heart with my head. See, our head sometimes or many times can actually constantly have us just going and going and going and going. And I mean, your heart's trying to speak to you. Your heart is like tussling. You're feeling a little bit of achy soul. Your soul is like crying out, like, okay, I'm trying to get in touch with you. I'm trying to tell you that like this is not where I want you to be aligned. So I want to go into alignment. Let me show you a definition that I found for alignment. And it says a state of harmony and congruence between your actions, your values, and your goals, and the deeper aspects of yourself, such as your heart, values, and your purpose. It involves living in accordance with what truly matters to you and ensuring that your choices and behaviors are consistent with your authentic self and your life's purpose. A mouthful, absolutely. That alignment is what I personally am questing after because when my heart is aligned, when I'm doing things that are intentional, on purpose, deliberate, when I serve humanity, then that's where I'm making a difference. See, whatever your thing is that you're supposed to be doing, whatever, I truly believe that every one of us have a gift or several gifts, that we were sent here on earth to serve to humanity. That's my personal belief. And so my service to humanity can be perfected when I find out what it is that makes me ignite. Like one of my wonderful guests that came on, Simon T. Bailey, he said, that makes you come alive. What is it that wakes you up in the morning? See, there was a reason that I believe our divine manufacturer was motivated to create me and send me here to the earth realm. I absolutely believe that beyond the shadow of a doubt, because I have been sent to reignite, to re-inspire, to stir up, to help people to return back to their why. And I actually know that's the original reason for my existence. I am not here just to, just status quo. No, that's not me. My task, and I had to find that. I had to unwrap that. I had to discover that. It's almost like I wish I had one with me, a gift. A gift. If you see a gift, Then you see it under the Christmas tree, or someone gives you a gift, but then you don't unwrap the gift. Then how are you going to know what's in the box, what's in the gift package? I think a lot of us throughout our lives keep our gift wrapped and sitting under the tree. We don't open our giftings. And so I'm encouraging you, just like you unravel that, the bow and the paper and all of that that's covering up that beautiful gift, I would love for you to focus on unwrapping the gift that is within you, because every one of us have something significant that we can do, be, or become. Literally, every one of us. I don't care. No one here is a mistake. No one here is unworthy. No one here can no longer use the excuse that I just don't know. You have so much in your imagination that can begin to start innovating. There's so much that you can do, basically, is what I'm saying. That gift that you have on the inside of you needs to be unwrapped, because there's someone sitting on the sidelines, perhaps crying or waiting for you to show up and to be your true authentic self. That's what people are waiting for. So will you, for 2024, say yes and unwrap the gift that's on the inside of you? Or will you stay comfortable and continue to keep doing the same thing that you're doing now? I hope, after listening to all of these episodes, that you're willing to find meaning and to embark on the quest of your heart. Your heart has been speaking to you. You just have not been listening to your heart. Now, let me give you a few little keys. And I know I am like so giving you just a heart to heart conversation. I was scanning over some articles from the past. And I remember this one article. I think, let's see, or she might have even wrote a book. I'm not sure. But I think her name is Bronnie Ware. And she had did some type of, and of course, it's from her. I don't think it's research based, but everybody resonated with what she was saying in there about the five regrets that we have. They had interviewed like a lot of elderly people, or people on their deathbed, and asked them, like, what types of regret do you have as a patient because you're getting close to death? And one of the first things that she said is that, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. So, really, if you are at the end of your rope, at the end of your life, can you say, I followed my heart, I lived the dream, I did what I wanted to do that made me feel wonderful? Like, I literally don't think many of us can say that. Many of us do what we have to do because we have to take care of our families. We have to do A, B, and C. But I'm telling you, it's time to be disruptive and to disrupt your life so that you can, at the end of your life, say that I did start the business. I did write the book. I did launch this initiative. I did lead the way that I felt like I was supposed to lead. That's what I want to be able to do. I want to be remembered for serving humanity with my gift, for inspiring someone to dream again, for inspiring someone to hold on and to keep going, and to know that they can unwrap that gift that they have on the inside of them. See, that's what I want. I want to be able to say that when at the end of the day, did you make a difference in someone else's life? That's the question. Did you do what you believe that you were put here on the earth to do? Did you impact those people? Did you listen to your intuition when it told you to, I don't know, go into photography or go into the medical field or whatever it is that you were called to do? Will you be able to say, yes, I did it? See, because that's what I want at the end of the day. I want to be able to say, when I'm at the end of my life. I want to be able to say that, you know what, Lord, I did everything that you told me to do. I didn't understand it all, and it was not easy by any means, but I at least did it to the best of my ability, what you, I believe, have called me to do. And so I want you to think about that. You know, whenever I'm doing these solo episodes, I am really after your heart so that you can really begin to start listening to your heart, because listening to your heart will give you the things that you need. It's almost like this. It's like a magnet. I don't know about you guys, but I've experienced it. I'm going about my business, just, working my 9 to 5, I'm just saying when I first started my journey, and all of a sudden, I start feeling this like sense of higher calling for me to do something more, something that serves humanity, something that touches other people's lives, something that helps other people to move out of the prisons of their past and to enter into the beautiful future that they have that's planned for them. And so I started listening to the whispers of my heart and began to start going toward that direction. Now, that direction has brought me into some really beautiful spaces. I mean, spaces that I know that if I was not in that space, then those people would not be still alive. And that's the impact of what we can do when we find out who we are and then we decide to become it. So it's a very powerful thing. And I really hope you are inspired to really look a little bit deeper on what you need to be doing for next year. Don't hold back. You know what? Nobody's promised tomorrow. So make your impact. Be bold. Do what you love to do while you can, while you still have heartbeats, while you still have breath in your body. So, look, I'm going to declare these things for 2024 over your life. And may you be attentive to the murmurs of your heart, because within them lies the roadmap to life, filled with purpose, passion, and boundless potential. And let's talk about potential just for a moment. I love Dr. Miles Monroe, and he says that potential is uncapped capability, is unused success. It's what you can do that you haven't yet done. It's how far you can dream that you haven't yet dreamed. It's what you can see, or how far you can see that you actually haven't yet seen. So your potential is humongous and is ever growing. For instance, if I say I had a book and I wanted to write that book, once I write that book, the potential of that book is done. So now there's something else that my potential wants to do. So your potential is endless. And so never ever think that you don't have anything on the inside of you. You are loaded with potential. Now, the second thing I want to declare over you: embrace the courage to confront your fears and break free from the comfortable confines that hold us back. That comfort zone, oh my gosh, that little cubby hole, I call it, is so good at keeping you safe. See, because our brains love homeostasis. It loves to just keep us doing our little, hypnotic rhythm of all of the things that we continue to do that we've subconsciously embedded into our patterns throughout the day. And we do them. So when a dream enters in, when a thought to do some innovation enters, you immediately just like squash it. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have the money. Oh, I don't have the knowledge. I don't have this. Instead of listening, writing it down and saying, what can the possibilities be if I did do that? What if I followed my voice? What if I followed my heart? That's the kind of mindset shift that you have to begin to start having, because that comfort zone will keep you doing the norm your whole life. And then you'll be on your deathbed regretting the fact that you didn't take the risk, that you didn't step out and do what your heart was telling you to do. And then the third one, for when your heart speaks, I am declaring that it guides you not only towards a destination, but also toward the highest expression of yourself. When you begin to start moving and following that uncertain path. See, it's very uncertain. A lot of people don't love uncertainty. Matter of fact, they hate uncertainty. But I'm telling you, if you're a dreamer, if you're a person of faith, if you're a person that likes to build, you have to step out on the unknown. You have to step out on uncertainty to get it done. That's the only way that we can be successful. I was talking to my husband, and he always goes back to this quote, and I hope I can remember, but it talks about being secure. I mean, people seek security, and that's the comfort zone because when you seek security, the highest security is maximum prison. So, do we really want to be in maximum prison, not fulfilling the dreams in our heart or not following our heart because we want to be so secure? So, ponder on that because literally there is somebody out there that needs the gift that you have on the inside of you. There's someone that needs your product. There's someone that needs your message. There's somebody that needs to hear your voice. There's someone that needs the innovation that you have. There's an organization that needs you to show up boldly for all of the things that you have been gifted to do. So as we end the year, I am going to give you just a few more. I've actually given you quite a bit, but let me give you a couple things that I know that I'm focusing on. And the first thing is heart alignment with your assignment. Make sure what you are doing is aligned with your heart. Now, let me just preference this by saying I'm not telling anybody to quit a job or things like that. I'm not talking about that because you can find joy and meaning in the work that you're doing and in your job, as you grow. And so your assignment, what you think that you have been sent here on or earth to do, that's the alignment that I'm talking about. Just knowing it is just half the battle because once you know it, then you have clarity. And with clarity comes a path. And so just make sure your heart is aligned with the work that you do. And the reason why I talk about this in particular is because with burnout, with people being uncertain about so many different things and losing fulfillment, having a sick soul that, now they're depressed and they don't really know which way to turn. You have to get yourself aligned. Whatever your heart is trying to take you, maybe it's time for you to shift into a different profession. Maybe it's time for you to shift into a different unit, whatever it is, but don't allow you being stuck and staying where you are to take the joy and the meaning out of the heartbeats that you do have. So, heart alignment, make sure that you are really listening to your heart and then aligning yourself with where you believe that your heart is taking you. And your heart may be telling you to stay exactly where you are, but to begin to do things that your heart is telling you to do so that you can make a greater impact. So that was number one. The second thing I'm going to encourage you to do, and that's the self talk. Work on your words. That inner critic that you have on the inside of you that we talked about some time ago, they really unpacked this when I went through the Women in Leadership um, uh, the little session that we had. I think it was about a 6-month program or something like that, but it was phenomenal. And it was a very transformative, it was really awesome. And that inner critic is, I like to say it like Les Brown says, he said, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. But the inner critic is that voice in your head. It's the one that sounds just like you. It's the negative part of us that loves to tell us what we can't do or that we're not enough or we don't deserve this, just all of the negative chatter, that you get when you do finally get some innovation and you get a dream. You can't do that. You're not smart enough and you're ugly. And all of that, the self-sabotaging words that we speak into ourselves. And the challenging part with that is that our words carry weight. I mean, if you think about it, if you're a kid and you're constantly being told what you can't do, it's going to be a challenge for you when you grow up. You have trauma already as you try to grow up. So self-talk is critical. I like to say this. I know the inner critic is going to talk. I know that, just the way that our brains are and how we've grown up and things like that, there's going to be negative chatter that comes. But I encourage you to allow your inner coach to combat that inner critic. See, my inner coach speaks louder than the inner critic in my life. That's what I choose to do. When I hear the inner critic begins to start screaming, it becomes a whisper because my inner coach is so on top of it and so powerful and telling me what I can do and that you can do it and you're smart enough and you're bold enough and you're strong enough and you have the giftings and the talents that you need. See, that voice is so much louder than the inner critic. Now, when I first started, that was not the case because I was allowing that inner critic voice to be louder than my inner coach. But when you develop yourself and you get stronger in who you are and know that you are rocking this thing, then your inner coach begins to take over and it eclipses what the inner critic tries to do. So pay attention to what you speak in your life. Knowledge is knowledge, but until the knowledge becomes a part of who you are, that's wisdom. And so I can say all day long that I am enough and I'm this and I'm that, but there has to be some belief in there too. You have to believe in your own significance. See, somebody needs what you have, so believe that you're significant enough to do that. See, that's powerful. If you can understand what it is that your superpower is, and then believe in your own significance, then you won't need anybody else to pat you on the back. We won't need anybody else to um, give you permission to be your awesome self that you are. And then the third one, because we do come with a lot of layers of trauma and hurt and pain and degradation and devaluation and things like that. So you're going to have to start peeling those layers away from you. When those voices begin to start speaking, you begin to start doing that work. And that's why I truly believe until you really have personal development, you got to do your own personal work now more than ever. I love saying that when I'm teaching a class for nurses and physicians and whoever else, because the work that we do in healthcare, you have to be a practitioner that is taking care of self more than ever. And I'm not talking about just going to get manicures and going to spas and working out and all of that. I'm talking about working your soul out, working your attitude, making sure that your brand represents a brand of who you intend to be. Like my brand is love. And so my brand is peace. That is what people will say about me when I'm not in the room. That's the type of brand I'm talking about. I'm not, and so that's the personal work that I'm talking about. You have to work on yourself and you have to transform yourself. And with changing yourself, with transforming yourself, guess what? That means that something is going to be disrupted. I was listening to Dr. Bishop Jakes, and he was talking about you can't change without disruption. So quit running from the disruption. The disruption is there because you want to change. You've asked for change. So now this challenge has come, and now you're not paying attention to the challenge because the challenge is going to help you to get to that change that you so desperately seek. So peel away the layers. And in order to do that, you're going to have to take some time from work. You're going to have to unplug from all of the regular things that you do, and you're going to have to get quiet with yourself. Quiet with yourself, which many people don't like to do, but it's so critical for you to get quiet enough so that you can actually hear yourself. And if you have to write down those layers that you got, those things that don't serve you well, then do that. Whatever it takes for you to get that stuff off of you, I encourage you to do that. All right. Okay. So I really didn't know I was going to go that long, but I just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all of that to everybody. And I'm excited for the new year. I am definitely going to be doing some different things. I actually have a book that's coming out real soon and probably somewhere around June. And it is When the Moment Chooses You. I also have a couple more babies in the oven. So I'm going to be doing a lot of innovative things next year. So just stay tuned. I would love for you to follow me and I would love to hear some comments. What did you take away from what I said today? Let me hear some of your things that you're working on. Like I said, give me the top three things that you're going to be working on for this new year. And also, get on over there to my YouTube channel and then subscribe. I would love to hear from you over on my YouTube channel. I'm definitely going to be growing that channel and looking forward to 2024 and the realignment that's going to take place, because I believe that when your heart speaks, if you listen to it, you will never have an unfulfilled day in your life. And so thank you for listening to When the Moment Chooses You. And I want to know, what will you do when your moment chooses you? See you next year. Happy New Year. Well, thank you for listening to When the Moment Chooses You. I'm Coach Charlene, and it was an honor to have you as part of my listening audience for 2023. I'm excited for what 2024 is going to bring. Please listen to the podcast on any of your platforms that you get, as well as I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing some very innovative and awesome things for 2024. So speaking blessings and prosperity over your new year, and I look forward to seeing you in 2024.